January, February, my brain is not fully working, so it's gonna take a bit for me to think about things in general in this video, so I'm sorry for that. Those are like the books I read in like January. I think that was the last, no, actually, was it? Yeah, like, they're not comedies, they're the tragedy. I mean, tragedy. It's just a not good book. It's by bisexual, pansexual, fluid, oh my god. Beautiful, not beautiful, where are you, Salarini? By, oh my god. I have the book on my shelf, I'm trying to read it from here. I am getting to the last 3 books of this video. I don't know how long this is. I do not know how long this video is already, but we are about to be done because there's this like witches and wizards do spells. Hello everyone and welcome to a new video here in my channel. If you're new and you don't know me, hi, welcome to a new video. For today's video I have my wrap up video of the past 3 months. So I'm going to be telling you the books that I read in January, February and March. I have read so many books in the past 3 months, I cannot even believe it. Like, I have the list in front of me and it's just insane that I've read all of these books in 3 months. Yes, I read the entire Game Changer series in like a week, and yes, I read the Midnight Trilogy in like a week and a half. But that doesn't like justify the fact that I read this amount of books. Like, even for me, this is a lot of books in 3 months. So, let me tell you all of them. Let me tell you what I thought. If you want to be caught up with the books I'm reading and my reviews and what I think of them and stuff, go follow my social media because that's where I post about books every single time I finish a book. Like, I post when I start books, when I finish books, what I think of books. I post about books a lot, so go follow my social media. I will leave screenshots on screen, but you will always have it down below in case at the end of the video you forget. It's down below my social media, go check that out. And now let's begin with the video. Let me just stop rambling and let me actually start telling you the books because there are quite a few of them. So let's begin. The first book that I finished in January was The Missing and the Dead by Stuart McBride. This was a book I got in a secondhand bookstore. I don't have it with me anymore because I gave it back to the secondhand bookstore. Like, I bought it and then I gave it back because I didn't like it. I know it is about a murder mystery in England, in a very small town in England, and the idea of it, like the actual like idea, was a good idea. I don't think it was well persecuted, but it was an interesting general plot idea. It's just not for me. I didn't like it. It was actually very long as well, which didn't help. Like, I was not even interested in anything, and because I do not DNF books, I was like, I have to finish this, and it's so long and I don't like it. It wasn't for me. I can only tell you right now that it's a murder mystery. I do not remember anything else. I do remember it was like a daughter, like, this girl disappears and then the mother disappears and then they all come back to like reality in different points, and it's a weird murder mystery. I just didn't like it, not for me. But check that out, like, check the synopsis in case you're interested, and if you like it, please let me know. So that is the first book I finished, and after that I read Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. I'm not going to talk about this book much, and there's a few other books that I will not be talking a lot about because I will actually be including them in a different video that I have to film. So I will not be going into a few of these books because they're on that other video, but basically this is one I read for this one video. It's a Hotstopper recommendations video, and it was very interesting actually. It is about, like, it's a I wouldn't say historical fiction, but it's about the story of this black person in America and his journey in finding himself and knowing who he is while he's black but Catholic because where he's from, and it talks about like plantation, like the American plantations of like sugar canes, I want to believe, maybe, or cotton plantations. I'm not sure about that exactly, but it has a bit of history, not much, but it has a bit of history in like America, like background, and it's a beautiful story about like self-discovery, which is very nice. I love reading about those kind of books. So it was a very interesting book. I really liked it. everything about that book will be on my House Super video. The book Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Let me tell you, I'm in love with Alice Oseman. If you don't know this about me, I'm obsessed with Alice Oseman. I love House Super, one of my favorite series of all time, and I just love her books. I love how she writes. And Radio Silence, I was obsessed with it. It was so beautiful. I loved it. It is about this girl who is obsessed, and she really likes this podcast. Like, it's like a fictional podcast, you know, these kind of podcasts are like telling you a story but everything is fake. It's just a storyline and has this entire world, but it's just a storyline. Yeah, that's basically the kind of podcast she's obsessed with. And the creator of this podcast happens to be a classmate of hers, and when she finds out, she freaks out and she starts becoming friends. Like, she was already friends with this guy, but it starts getting closer and, like, you know, becoming best friends with the guy. And I just really liked it. I love that factor of friendship that the book has. And I just love Aled. Aled is the guy I'm talking about. I'm obsessed with Aled. I love Aled. I don't know what it is about him. I just really, really like him. And the fact that he's ace is kind of like, you know, representation. Yeah, we love representation. So yeah, I love Aled, and Radio Silence was so fun. It was super fast to read. I remember reading it on the bus one day, and it was so funny because I had this crazy reaction about, you know, a scene, and the woman next to me looked at me and was like, "What are you reading? You're surprised." And I'm like, oh my god, you don't know what I just read. It wasn't that insane, but because I wasn't expecting it, I had a very extra reaction because I'm a very expressive person. And the woman next to me was like, what are you reading? Like, I want to know now. And I'm like, a book about gays. No, but it was a great book. I loved it. So yeah, I will give you more details about it on the House Super video. Another book that I read was also called Radio Silence, but it's not by Alice Oseman. I do not remember the author. And the funny thing about this is that I downloaded the book Radio Silence thinking it was the Alice Oseman book, and then I found out it wasn't Alice Oseman's book. So I read it still, and it is about, like, this author Radio Silence is about a world, like a post-apocalyptic world where there's this couple who's trying to not die, and they are trying to find a radio, like what's it called, radio signal to communicate with someone who might be alive somewhere else. Like, it was a very interesting book. Did I like it? Not really. But it was an interesting book, that, let me tell you that. The next book is not actually a book, it's an entire series. It is the Game Changer series, which, if you don't know, it is the Heat of Rivalry series. Everyone knows it by Heat of Rivalry, not by Game Changers, which is the first book of the series. So it is 6 books. The 7th one, which is probably the last one for what I had, is going to come out in like July. And I am so excited because the last book is also going to be about Ilya and Hollander and Shane. And I'm just obsessed with this series. I started the show because one of my friends was like, you have to watch it. Then I watched the show, read the books in like a week. I think I've never been so obsessed with books ever. And because of these books, now I'm obsessed with hockey. Like, now I watch hockey. Whenever there's hockey, I can watch. Like, whenever the timings of the team I support, which is the San Jose Sharks, in case anyone's interested. Whenever they play in a time that I can watch because it's not like crazy hours, I will watch it. I became a hockey fan because of these books. So, in case you have been living under a rock and you have no idea what I'm talking about, Game Changers, Heat of Rivalry series, it's about hockey. It's all about hockey. All of them are gay hockey players, and like each book is about a different couple. So the first one is about Scott and Kip, my parents, I love them. The second book and the 6th one are about Shane and Ilya, which are the main characters of the show, and why the entire series became popular. Obsessed with them. Ilya Rosanov, I love you so much. You have made me cry and just... yeah, beautiful books. And then the third one is... I confuse the third and the fourth. So, the third one is about the music player and the hockey player. And then the next one is... Friends with Benefits, I remember, but I do not remember the relation between the characters. And then the 5th one is about my babies, Harris and Troy. It's not Troy. Harris and... I do not remember. I am terrible with names. And because I read them all in the same week, I just mix now all the characters. But I am obsessed with the 5th one. That's my favorite. Harris is my favorite character of all time. Obsessed. And there's a little like scary moment in that book that I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna cry. I want to die myself. It was a bad scene, but it was a great series. Loved it. Beautiful. The TV show, amazing. I'm so excited for the second season. But no, yeah, I read those in like a week. So yeah, 6 books on the back, I guess. 6 books on the back. Beautiful series. I have actually the reviews of these books on my bookstagram. Like, I posted a photo with my reviews of the books because I became obsessed with it. I was like, I have to talk about this everywhere, all the time. Like, I became obsessed. And then on my personal, I have my favorite sentences. So just go to my social media. You will see everything about these books because I did go through like a very big rabbit hole. Like, right now I'm in my One Piece rabbit hole era. This was my heated rivalry hockey era. So I would really recommend reading them. They're so good. And if you want to read like LGBTQ books, these ones are good. I think those were like all the books that I read in January, or like around. All of these were around in January, and then I started with Shakespeare again. So I'm reading the entire works of Shakespeare in case you're new, and I take breaks. Like, I read a few, then I take a break, then I read a couple more because Shakespeare is just not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of him. I have read a few that I liked, but not really, I haven't been obsessed with all of them or anything. So I have to take breaks between plays because it's hard. Shakespeare is hard for me. So I went back to Shakespeare and I read Richard III, Henry VIII, Titus Andronicus, A Midsummer Dream, and Hamlet. So I read all of those, and let me tell you, the only ones that I liked from the ones I just mentioned are A Midsummer Dream and Hamlet. Oh my god, I'm saying Hamlet, and I'm sorry, but I will be talking about the book in a minute as well. So, Hamlet and A Midsummer Dream, I did really like. They were very interesting, and I have actually watched the Midsummer Dream play, like on YouTube. Very good one. Recommend that one. But no, yeah, Richard and Henry, I was just annoyed at history. I love history, but he made history so annoying. Like, you're telling me I'm just talking about all Shakespearean of one, like, block. But basically, what I want to focus on. You want to write a book about Henry VIII. Okay, go on. Love the Tudor dynasty, like, love. No, but like, I'm interested in the Tudor dynasty. And you're telling me you have the chance to talk about all the women this man was with, because this man was, very warm, like a Don Juan, and you decide to talk about everything else but the drama and the like more interesting part of his life. He missed a chance doing that. I'm sorry, he missed a chance. Richard III, I do not remember a single thing. Like, I just was so bored with history. I was like, I want to get done the history books, and now I'm in the tragedies now. So Titus Andronicus was actually very good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. And then Midnight Summer Dream, obsessed with it. I love the like fantasy fairy vibes, obsessed with it. And then Hamlet, obviously obsessed with it. It's a very good one. That one is good. Like, I understand why, like, not now I understand, but the books that he has are very, very famous. They deserve the fame. Everything else, why the hell did you write it? Why the hell? Like, come on. No, yeah, those are the books I read from Shakespeare. I will be going through them in a more deeply, version when I make my Shakespeare dissection video, because I want to make a video like commenting all the books from Shakespeare because I'm reading the complete works. So that will be coming hopefully in the next couple of months when I finish the freaking thing. But no, yeah, those are the ones I read in the past, like the books from Shakespeare that I read in the past 3 months. Let me connect from Shakespeare to Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell. The movie came out, it got nominated to an Oscar. This year I decided I wanted to watch the entire Oscars nominations. I did actually, and Hamlet was one. So I read Hamlet so I could watch the movie, and I actually have a video reading both books and watching the movie, so I will leave it linked. But basically, Hamlet, beautiful story. Paul Mescal, I love you, and it was a great story. They adapted the book very well. I wasn't expecting that comparison to be that good. It was good. It was very good. So yeah, Hamlet, in case no one knows, is like a retelling that Maggie O'Farrell did on Hamlet. So Hamlet is about basically Okay, Shakespeare had 3 kids, and the boy, died at like the age of 7, and then like 3 years after the death of the kid, he writes Hamlet, and because he gets inspiration to write Hamlet. And this story is about the kids. It's about how the kids are born, and how Paul Mescal plays William Shakespeare. Okay, how Shakespeare and the wife meet, and like it's a beautiful story, and I really like how in the book does not mention Shakespeare at all. Like it doesn't say William or Shakespeare at all in the book, and you know exactly what happens and when he's coming, when he's not. Like that is so good about it, and I really like in general how it's divided. Like you start the book from like each intercalated chapters between like the kids and how the parents meet, and then you get closer and closer to when Hamnet dies. And then the second part is like just an entire big chunk of like, instead of being chapters, it's just one big chunk of things, and it's just what happens after. And I just really liked it. Beautiful book. Maggie O'Farrell just became one of my favorite authors, and I don't know if you have written anything else, but I will be looking into it because I want to read more of you. Loved it. Now the next 2 books have absolutely nothing to do with Shakespeare. We're already done with the classics, so not yet, but with Shakespeare we're done with that. So let's move to fantasy, because I read Iron Flame and Onyx Storm, and I also have a reading vlog. I will leave a link. Love them. Beautiful books. I think Onyx Storm, I liked it more than Iron Flame. Like, I think I liked Onyx Storm more than Iron Flame. I still think Fourth Wing is the best one. Like, Fourth Wing, absolutely great. Onyx Storm was very good. I was very stressed throughout the entire thing. And Iron Flame, oh my god, that book. Like, I was all over the place as well. Like, the entire 2 books. They're very good. Really like them. Love how the story is, progressing, how the characters are being developed. Like, I'm loving it. I love the writing style. Beautiful books. Again, you have a reading vlog of me reading these books, so I will not be going through these as well too much, because you have a video of me going through them while I read them, so I will leave that linked, as I said. So yeah, the next book that I read is a romance, and it's called Love Like Farms, and I read this for my podcast. For a podcast that my friends have that is about literature, they decided to read this book for the book of the month for the podcast. I read it. Not a huge fan. Like, yes, it was entertaining. Like, some books don't have to be good for them to be entertaining, and this one was an entertaining book. Like, I had fun, but it wasn't actually that great. Like, the writing style, shit writing style, not good. The plot, very basic as well, but it was just a nice, easy read. Like, yeah, okay. The main character, like the guy main character, beautiful, and the best friend. There's another character that I was like, I love you. Like Charlie, I think it's called. Oh my god, Charlie, haha, love you. The main character is so annoying. I wanted to just. She was getting on my nerves all the time. Like, the main character is just so. I hated her. Not great character. Like, it just. Not a good book, but it makes you want to it's the type of book you just want to read to get out of a reading slump, because it's so bad and so easy to read. You just read it through and you're out of the reading slump. That's kind of the vibes of this book. The cover is beautiful though. The cover, beautiful cover. Let me tell you that. Beautiful cover. So yeah, didn't like it. Not for me. That is fine. Next 2 books are also for the Heartstopper video, so I will not be going through, these books as much either, but one of them was by Bisexual, Pansexual, Fluid and Genderqueer Youth by Rich Savin Williams, and I really like this book. It is actually, I don't know what I was expecting, to be fair, but it is nothing to what I expected. So the book actually is kind of like a case study. It's like a linguistic, I don't know who this person is, I don't know who Rich Williams is, but it was kind of like a linguistics case study about, genderqueer and bisexuality, pansexuality, what it means, what it doesn't mean, how people feel and represent, and how, everyone kind of how the different people are represented by one word or another, and how they experience genderqueer youth or pansexuality, that kind of stuff. And it was a case study. It was just giving you different terms, and how the different people from different ages experienced, and from different races. Like, it was a case study basically in a book, and it was very good. Really liked it. This was non-fiction, and for a non-fiction book, Really liked it. Not huge non-fiction fan, but this one was very good. So I really liked that one. We'll go through it on my hot super video because it's a big one for that video. And then the next one I read was also for that video, and it is Night Sky with Exit Wounds by Ocean Vuong. I love Ocean Vuong. Ocean Vuong is the writer of On Earth We're Bravely Gorgeous, which is one of my favorite books of like the year I read it. Like, it's a great book, love that book. And he wrote this other book that is actually a collection of poems and creative writing, and I just love him. I just really like Ocean Vuong. I love him, and I love poetry. I love creative writing. As someone who writes creative writing, who loves poetry, like, I love this book. I actually made a post on my personal Instagram with my favorite poems of this book. Like, it was so good. I want to get it physically now. Like, it's so good. I love Ocean Vuong. Like, I need to read everything he has written. Like, absolutely everything. Give it to me. Give it to me. Feed it, please. I need it. So good. But no, yeah, it's just a beautiful book, and the title is great. He's such a talented author. I get a lot of inspiration from him. Like, I finished the book and I got very inspired to write creative writing, like to write things. Just not a novel, just things for fun. Like, it's just, I love him so much. Beautiful book. I will be going through that on the hot tub video as well. So not a lot here, but it was great. Loved it. Very recommendable. Actually, now we're getting into March. I think these were all in March. The next one is Blind Spot by Paula Hawkins, which is the author from The Girl on the Train. And this book, actually, one of my friends lended it me. What's the verb? I don't know. She was like, here you have it. It's like 50 pages. You read it. You give it back to me next week. I had less than a week to read it. I read it in like a day. It was so fast. It was very interesting. It was fun. It was entertaining. I love Paula Hawkins. I love how she creates these mysteries. Beautiful book. Fast, easy, the plot twists were nice. It was a very fun book to read, and it was very fast as well, so it was very nice to read a fast-paced book. And the size of the letters as well was big. Like, it was very easy, and I enjoyed it. I just love what's it called? The plot twist that it has. Like, I wasn't expecting the plot twist, so it was like very, of course it's a plot twist, you're not supposed to expect it, but you know what I mean. Like, sometimes you can kind of guess where it's going. Didn't guess anything. It was good. Really liked it. Thank you, Eskili, for lending me the book. The next one is Skin Trade by Lauren K. Hamilton, and this one was from a secondhand bookstore. I also gave it away because I didn't like it. Well, it's not that I didn't like it. It was a fun book to read. Good enough for me to keep the book. So basically, in Skin Trade, you get you're in a world where like werewolves and vampires and stuff are, they are all over the place. They're completely everyone's okay with it. The thing is, the main character is an FBI policewoman, if that makes sense. And she's one day at her house and she gets a box with the head of someone inside. And so she has to drive to Las Vegas. Well, she flies to Las Vegas to figure out who, sent her a head in a box, basically. And it's apparently this vampire that she needs to go catch, because basically, this vampire is not following the law kind of situation. It was a very interesting, weird book with vampires, and I wasn't expecting a good book, but I wasn't expecting a bad book either. So it fit my expectations, and I just gave it away because it wasn't as good as I expected. So read that, wonderful. Let's get to the classical books that I read last month. Because I'm filming this. I'm filming this in at the end of March. But basically, at the end of this month, the classical books that I read this month were all for university, sadly. And the only context you need for these is that one of my modules this term is post-colonial literature. So I'm reading a lot of post-colonial Indian, African, Canadian books. And these ones were all from the Caribbean and India, because those are the ones that I basically already have studied. So, I read The White Man's Burden by Kipling, which, if you don't know who he is, was the famous Indian guy who wrote The Jungle Book. That's everything you need, because to be fair, he wrote that, and White Man's Burden, that's it. And White Man's Burden is a poem about racism, basically. About colonialism getting into India, and and about basically propaganda. I can give you an entire speech, about it, but basically, the book is about about the British saying to the Americans, hey, I've colonized India and I've colonized all of these places and I'm doing great. I think you should start colonizing as well because, you know, doing all the colonization ourselves, it's hard. I want you to take the burden, like it's like a sack, like take it from me. You do it and you'll see how, you know, your country will improve, like mine has improved kind of situation. So it's a lot of it was used for propaganda and it's very like commonly used nowadays as well in politics apparently. I don't know, I don't like politics, but that's what my teacher said and I will believe on her because she knows more than I do, so whatever you say. But yeah, it was just a massive poem about racism, which is a very common topic in post-colonial literature from everything I've read. Like all the books are about racism. Well, not all of them, but most of them are about racism and the English being like, we hate everyone who is not English. So like English from England, like, you know what I mean? Because of course, you know, they started colonizing, so the Caribbean countries, the ones where they, you know, they went and they started speaking English because, you know, yeah, they were English, yeah, because they were colonized by the English, but the English didn't consider them English because they were not white English. They were Caribbean, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna start with this because I literally, I study this, like, twice a week, and my brain breaks after, like, the first 2 hours, so... The next book I read for this module was White Sargassy, which is a Caribbean book by Jean Rhys. And she was basically a Caribbean author whose mother was Welsh and the father was Scottish or something. But she was born in the Caribbean, in the West Indies, and that's why she's called, she is considered, you know, Caribbean. And this book is basically a reply to Jane Eyre. I haven't read Jane Eyre, but apparently in Jane Eyre there's this character that is supposed to be Caribbean, and she has no actual voice, and she is like her entire character is just like, you know, the other, and like, you know, pushed and like not pushed to aside, but you know, like she's not she's just there, and I don't know, I haven't read it, but basically this author went and said, okay, I am Caribbean, I can write about Caribbean experience, about the Caribbean experience from colonialism and about, you know, how being Caribbean is, so I'm gonna write about that, I'm gonna use this character and I'm gonna give her a voice, and that is why she wrote this entire book. And the main character of this book is Antoinette. She's a white character whose mother is from a French like colony from the West Indies, and she the mother of Antoinette, she is married to this guy, the guy dies, she marries again, and then oh my god, and then Antoinette has to get married to this English guy, but the English guy is basically like, I just married you because I thought I was going to get money out of it, and now that I'm not, why the hell are we married? I hate you, whatever. And and then at one point, Antoinette goes to England, and she just sees how everyone is just not, how everyone is not racist because she's not black, but you know what I mean? My teacher was like, it's not black, remember she's not black. I remember she's not black. But basically she goes to to England, and all the Englishes are like, you speak English, but you're not from where we are, so you are not English because you are less English than we are. And the woman is like, yeah, but I speak English like all of you, and they're like, yeah, but you're just Caribbean, I guess. But it was interesting. Apparently, there's the love potion that it took me like 2 weeks to figure out it was there. It's a very interesting book. I still have to do the exam on that, so I cannot give you a more detailed information, but I had fun reading it. Let's say I had fun reading it. And the last book I read for this module is All Things Fall Apart, or yeah, Things Fall Apart, I think it's called, by Chinua Achebe, which is an African author. I think she's from Nigeria, from one of my teachers said, but I'm not completely sure if she's from Nigeria. The thing is, she is a black woman author who wrote about the African experience on colonialism. Oh my god, how surprising, right? And the book was very nice. I really liked it because it was very, very easy to read. Like, it was fast, easy, and it had a lot of it had many terms that are like that are used in African, like in African, I don't know which is the African language from Nigeria. Maybe Nigeria. No, it's in Igbo. The languages are in Igbo because like some of the words are in Igbo, which is a language. Because I remember at the end of that book, I have this thing of like Igbo words mentioned in the book or something, and it's an entire list of the Igbo words. So basically, there are these random words that have in my head made no sense because they're a completely different language that I do not speak. But it was very fun to read, and apparently it is because in Africa, when in Africa, the literature in Africa is divided by regions, and the region where this author is from, they didn't get education until like the 1960s or something. I'm still, transcribing my notes, so I'm not completely sure. But I think it was like the 1960s or something when they started to get education. So all the books written were easy to read and more educational for people to learn how to read kind of situation. It was just fast and easy, entertaining. And I had a lot of fun with this book. It was very fun. Do I have to reread it for whenever I have to do the exam? Probably, because I will probably not remember. But it was a very fun book. It was interesting. It was fast. It was nice. I'm excited to see what other books I read for this module, to be fair. The last 3 books I read are the Midnight Texas series. So it is a trilogy by, I don't know, remember, Charing Harris or something. Apparently this author wrote these books that inspired the series True Blood. So the same author wrote these 3 books. It's a paranormal, not even romance, but it's a paranormal series trilogy about our friend Bernardo. My friend and I are obsessed with this character because in the show, because the things we watched the show, and then I figured that I noticed that there were books that inspired the show, so I read the books, and that is what I'm here to talk about. So the books. The main character is Bernardo, and he is psychic. He can see phantoms after, like, people after they're dead. They can see them. He can see them, and he moves into this very small town in this mythical, like, this invented town in Texas called Midnight. And in this very small, this is literally like 1 street, 5 houses, that's it, kind of town. There are different characters. So Fiji is a witch. Bobo is like the repair guy. Then there is Joe and Chewie, who are angels. A teacher is like the I don't know why he's called teacher when he's not a teacher, but there's this character called teacher, and he's like the bartender from the bar. Then there is there is it's not a werewolf, a leopard, kind of, like, it's a half leopard, half human priest. Then there's a vampire, and then the girlfriend of the vampire is just a normal human, but knows how to fight, which is fucking great. I love her. Olivia, I love you so much. The entire series is about this man getting there, figuring out how to, live there with everyone else, because, he's a psychic and situation. And then things start to happen. Like, there's always a little something that is like, oh wait, what do you mean this happened? Like, the first one, there's this murder. The second one, this hotel gets open, and they have to figure out why it's very because it's a very sketchy hotel. They have to figure out what's going on there. And then the last book, I don't remember exactly, but there's this spell over Fiji's family, and they have to figure out how to go through that. Like, it's a very interesting paranormal trilogy. I really liked it, actually. It was very fun. I posted my favorite sentences of the book on my bookstagram, so go check that out. Like, this month I've been posting so consistently. I'm so proud. So yeah, I really liked it, and literally let me tell you, I only found out about the books because I watched the show, because Francois Arnaud, which is the guy who plays the Scot in Heated Rivalry, he's the main character. He's the guy who plays Bernardo. So my friend and I were like, yeah, we're watching it, and now I read the books, and they were good. And my friend was like, I'm so happy you liked them, because it was very funny. Every time I finished one of the books, I sent my friend my favorite sentences of the book, just because, like, does he read? No. But I wanted to, so I was like, I'm just gonna send you these things. And I was updating him, like, this thing happened, and in audios and stuff. I don't know how he stands me. Bastida, I love you. Thank you so much for standing me. I'm so annoying. Those were the last books that I read, and the last books that I'm gonna be including in this video. I think there's like 3 more days left of March, but I have to edit this and stuff, so you will see this video probably at the beginning of April. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm so sorry this video got, it's a very long video, but I read so many books as you saw on the past 3 months, so I had to make a pretty long video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, there's a Shakespeare video coming up eventually, and I have a Hofstadter video coming out very soon as well, where I will be talking more about these books that I mentioned that I love video. So, be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video, which will be the Hofstadter video, and I want to do a writing video as well, so I will see you on that one as well. Remember to like, subscribe, do all the things, like follow social media, you know what, just do everything, feel free, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!